The Golden State Warriors, a dynasty that changed basketball forever. But in 2025, the story is different. This isn't just about flashy shooting or fast-paced offense anymore. This is about legacy, about survival, and about one more push toward greatness. When the Warriors stepped on the court against the Los Angeles Lakers to open their preseason schedule, something felt new, something different. Stephen Curry was still there, calm, focused, and laser-sharp. Draymond Green was still barking commands, controlling the floor with his unmatched defensive mind. And now, there was a new face, Al Horford, 39 years old, a veteran of battles past, wearing blue and gold for the very first time. This is the story of how one preseason game told fans everything they needed to know about where the Golden State Warriors are headed. After the heartbreak of the previous season, the Warriors faced one big question: can this team still win? Free agency came and went, and the front office didn't make many big splashes early on. Negotiations with Jonathan Kuminga dragged on for weeks, freezing their moves. But when the dust settled, the Warriors quietly built one of the most balanced veteran rosters in years. They brought in Al Horford, the floor-stretching big man who still defends at an elite level. They added D'Anthony Melton, a defensive guard with underrated playmaking. They welcomed back Gary Payton too, one of the best on-ball defenders in basketball. And they took a shot on Seth Curry, hoping to recreate the magic of spacing and shooting that defined their dynasty years. Behind the scenes, Steve Kerr was recalibrating. The team's offensive playbook got an update: more motion, more passing, and an emphasis on spreading the floor around their three veterans, Curry, Butler, and Green. Yes, you heard that right. Jimmy Butler is now a Warrior. The trade that brought him to Golden State shook the NBA world. At age 36, Butler's grit and playoff mentality are exactly what the team lacked. For years, Golden State was known for elegance, finesse, and beautiful basketball. But in recent seasons, they needed more fire. Butler brought that, instantly. The trio of Curry, Butler, and Green may not be as explosive as they were in their 20s, but together they form one of the most intelligent and experienced cores in basketball. And in the preseason opener, that leadership was on full display. It's a packed Chase Center. Fans are loud, eager, and hopeful. They've seen banners rise. They've seen heartbreak. But tonight, it's about seeing something new. Steve Kerr gives his pregame speech: keep it light, keep it smart, keep it about rhythm, not results. Curry smiles. Draymond nods. And Al Horford laces up his sneakers, ready for his first minutes in a Warriors uniform. When the ball tips, Curry wastes no time. He splashes his first three-pointer in transition, vintage Steph. But what grabs everyone's attention isn't the shot, it's what happens next. Horford, positioned at the top of the key, reads a Lakers drive perfectly. He steps up, times it beautifully, block. The crowd erupts. That was the first moment Warriors fans realized. This wasn't just a signing. This was a statement. Horford only played 14 minutes, but every second mattered. 3 points. 4 rebounds. 3 assists. 3 blocks. A +13 rating, the best of any player on the floor. He didn't need to score much. His presence alone changed the way the team defended and moved the ball. When Horford was on the floor, Draymond could slide to his natural position at the 4. It gave the Warriors better spacing, better rim protection, and smarter rotations. On offense, Horford stood on the perimeter, dragging the Lakers' bigs out of the paint. That opened the lane for Curry to slice through, and once, they even connected beautifully. Horford handed off a pass to a cutting Steph, who twisted through contact and finished. It was subtle. But for Warriors fans, it was a glimpse of what's to come. At 37 years old, Curry is still the heartbeat of this franchise. He doesn't need to prove anything. But every time he steps on the court, he plays like someone who remembers what it felt like to be doubted. Against the Lakers, he was electric in short bursts. He scored efficiently, led fast breaks, and set the tone. Steve Kerr limited his minutes to around 15, enough to stay warm, not enough to risk fatigue. And that's the theme of this preseason: preservation over production. Kerr explained before the game that his goal isn't to win preseason matchups. It's to build chemistry. With Curry, Butler, and Green all in their mid to late 30s, load management isn't just a strategy, it's survival. And it's working. The veterans look fresh. The team looks balanced. And the system feels more fluid than it has in years. Kerr's philosophy has evolved. He knows the dynasty years, the 73-win season, the Durant era, the beautiful chaos of motion offense, are long gone. But the principles remain. Share the ball. Move without it. Defend together. He also knows this version of the Warriors must rely on experience. No team in the NBA has more combined playoff minutes among its top 5 players. That matters. In practices, Kerr has emphasized communication and spacing. Al Horford is often seen pulling younger players aside, explaining rotations, pointing out timing issues, mentoring. It's like having another coach on the floor. Kerr calls Horford's presence a massive voice for us. And he's right. The Warriors' locker room feels calmer, more disciplined. The energy is different, mature, but still hungry. You could see it even in limited minutes. When Curry dribbled off screens, Horford knew exactly where to stand. When Green set a pick, Butler slid into position without needing a cue. It was instinctual. This is what separates the Warriors from most teams, chemistry that transcends age. These are veterans who've been through wars, who understand rhythm and trust. And as preseason continues, the coaching staff believes that chemistry will translate into real wins. There's no panic. No rush. Just focus. In the locker room, players talked about the excitement of blending old-school IQ with new blood. Kuminga, Podziemski, and Melton all mention how valuable it is to play alongside such legends. This mentorship dynamic could define the Warriors' season. Golden State isn't just chasing another playoff berth, they're chasing respect. After being written off multiple times, the Warriors are quietly rebuilding their identity. No more small ball without size. No more defensive collapses in the paint. Horford changes all that. He brings height, shot blocking, and leadership. And if he stays healthy, he could be the missing piece in one final title run. But it won't be easy. The Western Conference is loaded: Luka Doncic's Mavericks, Anthony Edwards' Timberwolves, Jokic's Nuggets, and the ever-dangerous Lakers. To win, the Warriors will need to balance minutes, manage egos, and trust the process. Steve Kerr knows that. Curry knows that. And now, Al Horford knows what it means to wear the blue and gold. As the game ended and the crowd cheered, one thing was clear: this team isn't done. They're older, wiser, and maybe slower. But their heart? Still pure gold. For fans, Al Horford's debut wasn't just about numbers. It was about belief. That maybe, just maybe, the Warriors have one more magical run left in them. Stephen Curry walked off the court smiling, towel over his shoulder, waving to the fans who've been with him through everything. The message was clear: we're not finished yet. Because as long as Curry is still shooting, Draymond is still fighting, Butler is still leading, and Horford is still blocking shots, the Golden State Warriors are still dangerous. Breaking news out of the NBA, and it's huge for the Golden State Warriors. The league has officially introduced 2 new foul rules for the 2025-26 season, and guess what? They might change the game, especially for Stephen Curry. The first rule, the high five rule. From now on, defenders can't hit a shooter's hand during the shooting motion, not even a little touch. The second rule, the delayed contact rule. If a player is hit after releasing the ball even a full second later, it still counts as a foul. That's right, contact after the release is no longer ignored. And for someone like Steph Curry, the master of high-arching, quick-release jumpers, these new rules could open the floodgates. Steve Kerr, the mastermind behind Golden State's dynasty, spoke about it immediately. He said, "The biggest one is the high five rule. Defenders were literally high-fiving shooters after the release. That's no longer allowed. For years, Curry and other shooters have been slapped, tapped, and brushed on the follow-through no call. But now, that's a foul. It means defenders can't crowd the arc as tightly as before. And that means more space for shooters, more freedom for Steph, more buckets. Curry has always played under immense pressure. Traps, doubles, blitzes, body contact, all designed to slow him down. Now, with stricter foul protection, defenders will have to think twice before reaching or touching. This isn't just a small tweak. It's a shift in the balance of power favoring skill, touch, and precision. Let's be honest, no one benefits more than Steph Curry. He's the greatest shooter the league has ever seen. His release is lightning fast. His follow-through? Legendary. Now imagine Curry shooting knowing the refs are protecting his hands and wrists. He can extend his motion fully, finish naturally, and trust that contact won't go uncalled. Expect Curry's free throw attempts to rise. Expect his three-point percentage to climb. Expect his confidence already off the charts to become untouchable. And for the Warriors' offense, that's a nightmare for every defense in the league. The spacing improves. The rhythm returns. The Warriors' motion system, the one built on timing, cuts, and ball movement, just got turbocharged. Steve Kerr said it best. Protecting shooters is the theme. And nobody deserves that more than Steph. But it's not just Curry. These new rules could reshape the way Golden State plays basketball. Klay Thompson, another elite shooter, gets extra room to land. Moses Moody, young, athletic, and growing into his role, can finally take fearless jumpers. Even rookies like Podziemski benefit, learning to shoot without worrying about wrist contact. Defenders will back off slightly. That half step of space is everything for Golden State's offense. The ball will move faster. Screens will hit harder. And when Curry and Klay start raining threes again, the Chase Center might explode. Now let's switch gears to something lighter. Over the offseason, Moses Moody went viral for a hilarious reason. He was back home in Little Rock, Arkansas, playing pickup basketball at a local park. A few guys thought they recognized him and whispered, "Yo, is that Moses Moody from the Warriors?" But here's the twist: Moody was only using his left hand. He'd undergone thumb surgery on his right hand after tearing a ligament late last season. He was still recovering, but he couldn't stay away from the game. So he played left-handed. He airballed a few shots. And the guys watching said, "Nah, that's not him." Little did they know that was him. A real NBA player, playing with one hand, just because he missed the game that much. That story tells you everything about Moses Moody's heart. He's competitive. He's fearless. And now, fully healthy, he's looking to prove he belongs in the Warriors' future core. Inside the Warriors' facility, the mood is focused. Curry, Draymond, Klay, the core is still locked in. But there's a new sense of urgency. The team knows this window isn't open forever. Curry's turning 37 soon, yet his energy is unreal. Kerr has adjusted the playbook, integrating younger guys while keeping the vets sharp. You'll see more off-ball action, more screen manipulation, more trust in the bench unit, Moody, Kuminga, and Podziemski. And the new foul rules? They'll practice around them. Expect drills focusing on clean contests, proper hand placement, and safe closeouts. The Warriors are already planning how to weaponize these rule changes. Fans are buzzing. Some say the NBA just handed Curry another MVP season. Others argue the league is making it too easy for shooters. But the truth? Basketball evolves. And the league is always finding ways to protect its most skilled players, to make the game cleaner, safer, and more spectacular. And when Curry's shooting deep threes without worrying about a slap on the wrist, everyone wins. As the 2025-26 season begins, the Golden State Warriors find themselves at another turning point. They're older, but smarter. Experienced, but still hungry. And now, the rules themselves seem to favor their style of play. Stephen Curry has already changed basketball once. Now, he might do it again. Because when you protect the greatest shooter of all time, you might just unleash another Warriors revolution. The NBA offseason is always full of speculation, but this year, one name keeps popping up in the headlines for the Golden State Warriors: Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat. Reports from Brett Siegel of Clutch Points suggest that if Adebayo ever requests a trade, the Warriors would be among the top teams interested in acquiring him. Why is Bam so intriguing to Golden State? His skill set mirrors that of Draymond Green but with an added scoring punch. He is a three-time All-Star with a versatile defensive game, capable of guarding multiple positions and anchoring the paint. Offensively, he can create his own shot, pass effectively, and stretch the floor. In short, he is the kind of player who could transform Golden State's championship window from great to nearly unstoppable. For fans, the idea of Bam joining the Warriors conjures exciting scenarios: Curry driving and kicking out to Adebayo spotting up for a mid-range jumper, or Green and Adebayo forming a defensive tandem that could shut down almost any opponent. Even though a trade is purely speculative, the prospect alone changes the narrative around Golden State's strategy this season. Last season, Bam averaged 18.1 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 4.3 assists per game, showcasing both scoring and playmaking. His ability to contribute across multiple statistical categories makes him unique among big men in today's NBA. If he were to join the Warriors, the team would essentially be adding a secondary playmaker. Imagine the floor spacing with Curry on the perimeter, Seth Curry or Klay Thompson spotting up, and Bam rotating as both a defensive anchor and a facilitator. This would allow Stephen Curry to focus more on scoring while maintaining offensive flow. Defensively, Bam's presence would mean strong rim protection, ability to switch onto guards in pick-and-roll situations, more freedom for Green to act as a defense general elsewhere on the floor. In short, Bam would bring balance to a team that has previously struggled when opponents target the paint or exploit mismatches. His skill set perfectly complements Golden State's existing stars and could fill gaps left by previous seasons. Acquiring Bam Adebayo would not just be a personnel upgrade, it would be a strategic shift. The Warriors would become more versatile defensively, capable of running multiple small ball and traditional lineups, less reliant on Draymond Green to cover every defensive mismatch. From a coaching perspective, Steve Kerr would gain new flexibility. With Bam on the floor, Kerr could play faster in transition without sacrificing rim protection, use off-ball movement more effectively with Curry and the shooting guards, mix in heavier lineups against dominant centers in the West. This trade, however, raises questions. Would Golden State have to give up draft picks, young talent, or rotation players? Could the team chemistry adapt quickly enough to integrate Bam's style without disrupting the existing core of Curry, Green? Social media has been ablaze with speculation. Warriors fans are dreaming about a potential super trio of Curry, Butler, and Adebayo, while Heat fans worry about losing a cornerstone player. Pundits have weighed in on ESPN, NBA TV, and multiple podcasts, discussing how Bam's defensive versatility could change Golden State's playoff outlook, whether Adebayo would fit in the Warriors' fast-paced offense, potential matchups against Western Conference rivals like the Lakers, Clippers, and Nuggets. The media angle also adds pressure to the front office. Every comment from Steve Kerr, Bob Myers, or team insiders is scrutinized for hints about trade possibilities. For the Warriors, the mere presence of trade rumors can impact fan expectations and ticket sales. Let's imagine Bam Adebayo joins Golden State. What changes immediately? Offense. Curry gains a high IQ big man who can initiate offense from the post. Floor spacing improves with Adebayo capable of shooting mid-range jumpers. Playmaking becomes more diversified. Defense. Bam teams up with Green to anchor the paint. Switch-heavy defense becomes even more effective. Opponents find fewer mismatches in transition. Team chemistry. Integrating Bam's personality and play style with Butler, Curry, and Green will be crucial. Communication on rotations and defensive assignments must be seamless. Veteran leadership from Horford and Payton too help stabilize adjustments. Long-term outlook. The Warriors become immediate title contenders. Adebayo's presence opens options for future trades or roster moves. Contract management and salary cap considerations will influence next offseason moves. While a trade remains speculative, Golden State's interest in Bam Adebayo signals that the franchise is serious about maintaining championship contention. The Warriors have always been strategic in their moves, targeting players who fit the system rather than just big names. Whether or not the trade happens, these rumors highlight the Warriors' commitment to improvement. Keep fans engaged and excited for the season. Set the stage for a possible historic roster configuration. For now, Warriors fans will continue to follow updates closely, eagerly anticipating news from the front office, while analysts dissect every possible scenario. If Bam Adebayo does join the team, Golden State could very well redefine their path to another NBA championship. The Warriors' locker room feels calmer, more disciplined.